Welcome to the Backlash at Backlash.com. My name is Rod Van Mecklin, and earlier today I listened to Paul Joseph Watson's excellent InfoWars video declaring a backlash against third-wave feminists. I was glad to see it. And in support, I'll read and comment on excerpts from my 1992 article declaring a backlash against second-wave feminists. As I do, I'll be substituting the term second wave for pop, as 23 years ago we tried to make a distinction between good feminists and the misandrists, whom we called pop feminists. In a later video, I'll explain how I came to the conclusion that there is no such thing as a good feminist, and why I disagree with Christina Hoff Sommers on this point. But I just got back from working out and took a quick shower, so I'm a little hoarse, and I hope you'll excuse me for having a glass of water close to hand. Excuse me. And for those of you who are thinking, evil white man, but wondering about my powwow t-shirt, I'm a member of a federally recognized Indian tribe, and during my 62 years, I've endured plenty of racism. So, backlash. Men, your time has come. The backlash begins. 1992, Bellevue, Washington. For decades, second-wave feminists denied there ever would be a backlash against them. Then, in response to some of the early warning signs that a backlash was imminent, Susan Faluti's book, Backlash, The Undeclared War Against American Women, became a bestseller as women everywhere cringed at the thought of oppressed men demanding justice. But there was no backlash, not really, not until today. Now here we are declaring a backlash against all who would oppress men because the time has come for us to make a stand for justice for all, not with violence, nor with benevolent oppression, but, like Martin Luther King Jr., with love in our hearts and fire in our souls. When women come crying to us to crucify a man whose only crime is expressing his masculinity, we must stand together and say, men are people too. Men are people, but too many women today seem to have the attitude that men are like disposable razors, something you use, then throw away. But we're not disposable. We deserve better. We deserve and must demand not revenge, but justice. Feminists fear our justice. They fear it because they believe we'll try to do to them what they've been doing to us. So they pit us against one another, invoking our male chivalry, what today is called white knighting, to oppress our brothers in the name of protecting them with the words, I'm afraid. But what they say doesn't matter if it's not true. Only the facts matter. Just the facts, ma'am. If some women whine, those men make us afraid, we must not react with automatic chivalry. First, we must consider, what did those men actually do? I've read cases, really, articles and transcripts from court hearings where women allege that men committed the crime of looking at them, or of thinking about them, how'd they know, or of smiling at them, or of saying nice things to them. Oh, evil, dastardly men. Ooh, how dare you say something nice? Imbeciles. These are not crimes, and all their aberrated assertions of fear will not change that. Kind of have to wonder if they're not projecting. What does matter, however, is what men do in response to their allegations. Actions count, and too many men overreact when a few women whine. When they whine, we jump. Well, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but what has gone wrong is that second-wave feminists have persuaded men that women are more moral than we are, and that we should, therefore, ignore our own feelings and judgments about what's good and right, and crucify decent men upon the altar of their misandristic witch hunt. Now, back in 1992, misandry was a very new term. Asa Baber, who used to write the men column for Playboy magazine until he died tragically young, I think he was about the age I am now. I think that was Lou Gehrig's disease that took him, so we miss Asa. We have, in other words, abandoned the moral high ground. To obtain their fleeting approval, we gave it away. The moral high ground is not something to give away but to share. The time has come, therefore, for us to reclaim our sacred duty to promote, protect, and share the moral high ground. That is our timeless honor, and we must be shameless about it. We are, therefore, shameless men. Most women fear shameless men because a shameless man can't be bamboozled. Like a Jedi Knight, he is both master and servant of justice. His dedication to decency makes it impossible for tyrant wannabes to control him. To overcome the noble masculine spirit, second wave feminists have promoted the ideas to women, politicians, judges, that all men are rapists, all men are violent and abuse women, and men are pigs and deserve to die. That was a quote, by the way. It's hard to measure what suffering they've caused, but the mythopoetic men's movement, which I think thankfully is withered away, and journals like Wingspan documented men's journey from isolated anguish to the rediscovery of their noble male spirit and the company of men. Now it's time for all men to, and please excuse this is 1992, the language is a little stilted. Now it's time for all men to don their crowns of righteousness, pick up their swords of justice, and reclaim their ancient heritage. The mission of the Backlash? I'll skip that. Most men believe in equal rights. They're willing to defend the rights of others, but will neither sacrifice their rights to anyone else, nor ask any others to sacrifice their rights to them. At least they shouldn't. To promote equal rights for everybody, including men, men need to cooperate among themselves. This requires communication. So we need to share our issues and talk about strategies and activities that will help resolve those issues. The Backlash, I can skip that. I wasn't thinking about MGTOW back then in 1992. Might have been 94 or 95 when I wrote an article called Confessions of a Recovering Gyneaholic, which was very MGTOW in nature or character. Might even have been earlier, more like 1989 or 90. I'll have to dig that out and read it someday. But I see MGTOW as the real backlash. In his video today, Paul Joseph Watson talked about neo-masculinity and referred to that as the real backlash. He also referred to MGTOW. And I'm going to have to go read the article that he linked to on Rush's excellent website, Return of Kings, talking about neo-masculinity, and find out what it's all about, because if it's coming from Rush, it's probably good. Subscribe to the channel. Forgive me, I'm new at this. Subscribe to the channel, check out the other videos, and visit my favorite channels listed over on the right of your screen. For the Backlash at backlash.com, my name is Rod Van Mecklin.